little after I got out of the Army, the Million Man March happened in DC.
Mm,
And I was there. I was one of the greatest moments of my life.
that's awesome.
And the reason why it was so great was not just that day itself, but in the months leading up to that. I noticed in the DC area as well as the Baltimore area that Black men were starting to treat everyone differently. It just felt like we were starting to walk differently and talk differently. There were some neighborhoods that I would go into where, a couple of weeks before, people would have looked at you funny and maybe even started something with you, where you would go into those neighborhoods and they're like, "Hey, how you doing? Good to see you." And I mean, at first it was shocking. It was like, "Whoa, good to see me," But you saw how men were starting to, Black men were coming together and saying, "No, we're the problem and we have to fix each other." But what it was just, there was no longer this division.
Hmm.
Another thing that anyone in the DC area or the DMV knows about is there's a huge rivalry between DC and Baltimore.
Mm.
Huge rivalry between DC and Baltimore. And during the march, you had people from Baltimore coming through. They were just as welcomed as anybody else. And so you say, okay, this can happen.
Hmm.
This can happen. So what I'm trying to point out is that there is huge value in loving your in group. I don't think there's anything wrong at all with loving your in group, but also being mindful of how you treat others that are outside of what you would call your circle
Right.
is critical. You